All right,
my. Oh
I
my.
gotta share the book I had the background for. Jeremy
Ooh,
Brood.
that's a good one.
Yeah, are you a Corbin fan at all?
Uh,
That
I want to hear you present this, and then I want to tell you my love-hate relationship. Not hate, but
this is a just a actually really well done adult sci-fi story, like you might have found in heavy metal in the 80s or 90s. It's from 83, I think,
mm,
82. And it's about these two pilots of a spaceship who land on a planet called Eden, discover Eden is actually not an Eden, but is led by this evil church that wants to sacrifice virgins in order to preserve their society. And Jeremy Brood kind of overthrows the society. But tragedy happens, particularly including the woman he's with. And the story just takes these really unexpected turns. And his art is, as always, is just like outrageous. Look at these characters and how well they're drawn and the airbrushing style. This is all done by hand, of course, no digital retouching in 1982.
uh,
These characters are all so singular and weird. And it just took me away to another place. Like, uh, I legitimately just like loved it for the same reason I think you love the Peter Milligan book you were just talking about, where it's like just so different. The colors, the approach, the style, like it's perfect for the story that kind of literally takes you to another world because it feels
mm.
like something from another world. And it's something that like, I would love to see like a animated version of some of this work. So I've always been a little bit of a Corbin fan, but I picked this one up at a shop in Grass Valley, California, which
Oh,
the famous Bud Plant comic artist in Grass Valley, and he
oh,
co-owns a bookstore where he sells a bunch of stuff.
this is gonna be sacrilege, but it's hard for me to get into Corbin's stories. Actually, no, it's hard for me to get into his art, but I know it's amazing. I love his coloring art. Like the stuff that you
Hmm.
show me, like if it's like I love all of his art. Like it's beautiful. It's I don't know, I wouldn't say it's beautiful, but it's magnificent. It's a work of art. It's and when I was in Angoulême, they had a museum in Angoulême featuring all of his artwork, comic artwork. I actually have some
Oh,
pictures that I took from a lot of them. Like his mainstream stuff from American mainstream, I mean, to like, the stuff that's popular in France that we've never seen. And it's incredible in person, like all the paintings and all that stuff. And he's an amazing artist, but I just cannot, and I have a lot of his comics because I'm almost fascinated. I'm weirdly attracted to his work, but I can't get into his work. It's so weird. I don't know how to describe it. It's
hmm.
like I read Mutant World for Corben, and it's beautiful. I love it. It's on my bookshelf. I'm grateful they put it out for a affordable price, but I'm never gonna touch it again because unless it's just to admire the art, it's I don't know. It's just it makes me feel icky whenever, and it's not his fault. It's nothing creep. I mean, there's a lot of boobs and penises and asses everywhere, but it's not necessarily any different than any other adult comic, right? So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
there's something kind of just like just weird about his work, like alien about his work. It just feels very strange. I've never been a huge fan of his. Is kind of why I'm so excited to read this because this book just clicked for me. I think
Mm,
it's because it like fits this like classic formula. It's almost like the Star Trek crew beaming down, but it's done in a different way where it just feels more adult and
mm-hmm,
very kind of relationship driven. I think that's kind of the one of the things that drives the comic for me is like the relationship between these two main characters
mm-hmm,
is like really interesting and like done in a way that actually is like not exploitative, even though they're both naked when we first meet them, but more like logical in the context of the story.
mm-hmm,
And the way they relate to each other is I think pretty powerful. And then the way the story plays out, I just found myself dragged into it. But
mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, a lot of his other stuff, like Den and Mutant World, where like you don't have that grounding, it just feels like it's hard to get into it really. That's
Yeah.
why a lot of people like our friend Zach Davis, he loves the Poe books the best because they're grounded in Edgar Allan Poe. And so, reading Corben's take on the fall of House of Usher, and you got something, it's truly grounded in something.
Mhm. That's actually, you're right. So I didn't mention this. I love his work with Mike Mignola on Hellboy. He's
Hmm.
got two Hellboys. One of them is a wrestling comic, basically, and it's so good. It's so much fun. And then there's another one where something man, the Crooked Man.
Oh
They're
yeah.
they're both out of print, unfortunately. But if you can if anybody can get a hold of them, they're really fun to read. Mike Mignola is a really good. He's a very underrated writer, and then when he teams up with Corben and writes stuff for him, it's amazing. I love it. And then he's done some mainstream, like American, like he's done the Hulk, he's done Luke Cage, which I don't like,
Yeah, I
but I
didn't
do
like
like
that either.
the Hulk
Yeah.
one is pretty good. And I think he's done Swamp Thing, which is pretty good too.
Well, there's the creepy magazine anthologies with him too, and he did great work
Right.
for them.
Mhm.
Yeah, well worth it.
Really good. That's a really good get, though.